So, um, topic at hand: the creative process and how we do it. And so, here's getting feedback on this one. So, I create more so in one area, and I kind of stick there. So, like, I'm writing a book. Been writing it for a while, actually. Um, but I brought the information to my wife about the fact that I'm writing a book. She has an exploratory mind that kind of goes into a zone of creativity that just creative overload, in my opinion. So, what she suggested, and when I brought it to her, she gave me a whole array of things that I can do. Not that I won't do them. I'm actually not just considering it, working toward it. Okay, but it was so much. I'm trying to just still get the book finished and work on that aspect. And she comes up with so much other stuff. Now I know others that work with Jennifer. She's like a business coach, life coach type person, so she's always giving advice. But they've told me the same thing, like, "Hey, your wife is the bomb." Whoa, whoa! But man, there's so much information. I don't even know where to start at, or I forgot where to start at because she shares an abundance of information, and it's great stuff. But like for me, if you give me too much, sometimes at that one time, I'm still trying to hone in on the more precious part, which is the initiation. Why? So I'm gonna let her explain why she does that. I'm gonna kind of try to sit over here and not say anything as she proceeds.
Well, okay. So the reason
Why you sound so down?
I
Get
just feel
excited.
like, so the way my mind works, and I believe anybody that creates think this way. When an idea is presented to me, I always look at what it can become. So that's the first thing I look at. Um, it's never at a eye level view. It's always at eagle level, mountaintop view. So when you say, when Gerald was like, "I'm writing a book. How do I do this?" My immediate thought is always, how do we take over the world with it? I can't help that. I have this I want to take over the world mentality, and
The brain.
that's how I see everything. So when you say, I want to open a coffee shop, I'd be like, how can we open it across the whole entire world? And so, because that's my initial thought, like literally my first thought, there's like what, a thousand ways you can take over the world with the coffee shop. So then I just start pouring into people. But what I'm learning is, a lot of things I say is like, I think it's sometimes beyond people's imagination and their thoughts
But
in that current moment.
but you be wanting to, not just a coffee
And I be
shop. You
wanting
can
to
close a
happen.
coffee shop, and now you want to open a school teaching people how to make
Yeah,
coffee, and then a have a coffee shop convention,
yeah,
and then
I
have
do.
a rainbow tea where everybody's drinking different coffees. I mean, your exploratory thoughts. You just explore so many different avenues, like, and as a requisition to completing the project. Like, you make it sound like
You
this is
have
what we
to.
have to do
Oh,
in order
to
to.
get it done.
I hope I'm using that word right, but yeah, in order to
Yeah,
complete the
a
yeah,
prereq to
yeah.
getting
Like,
your
we got
book
to have
done.
all these other thoughts in order first before we get. I'm like, man, before we can build a house, can we learn how to create brick?
Oh, I think my imagination just be beyond that. Like
Building a castle.
I be seeing the possibilities of where it can go. And just by doing this for over years, I'm learning that just my thought process. I have a vivid creativity process. I know it has everything to do with how I was raised. I told you that.
I think you should maintain
We
that
we
though.
um we
Don't
didn't
stop
watch
it.
TV a lot. We read a lot of books. The library was my world back then when I was 7 years old, and I read every single book. So when you say, I guess it goes back to just conversation. When you say, I want to build a house, my thought is, why not build 1,000 houses? I can't help but I think like
Whole
that.
community.
And I start
Just
processing that.
I don't think you should like alleviate that. I'm sorry.
I'm
for
not.
interrupting
I
you.
get paid for that.
Yeah, keep that going, but at the same time, recognize your audience because everybody can't
Because
do
everybody's
that.
slow.
That's slow. Just
Oh.
everybody don't think like that. Don't think you smart. Smarter than everybody else.
I didn't say that.
Say everybody slow.
Okay. You. Oh.
That's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded.
No, I think other people think like I think too.
They do.
And
they do.
A lot of us who think like
think at a
that
grand scale.
hold back. It's like immediately, which would make sense being in the world of business and helping people start a business. I would want a coach that can see beyond I want to write a book. Sir, we about to build legacy. What are you talking about? I just want to write a book.
Well, we're going to see where it goes because we're definitely going to follow these immaculate plans that we've made here and see how it's
the flip side of that though is what I'm learning is you're right, you got to know your audience, because I can tell you how to build a legacy, but if you don't have the brain capacity to even, or
the passion
to manage all that stuff I'm telling you about, and it's going to be worthless anyway,
or it's going to be convoluted. And the quality may not be
what's convoluted?
I'm saying if a person is,
we got to talk about these vocabulary words in our next
video.
Being
loaded with a whole bunch of stuff. I'm trying to give you the simple version of it. We can look it up.
No, it's like you try to throw a big word in there.
I ain't throwing a big word in there. That's my regular talk.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that.
We ain't talking about that. Convoluted. Too much stuff going on. Give us your opinion. Tell me what you think. I mean, we want to know. More of a simple, concentrate on an item, or think about the big picture all at once. What are you focusing on initially?